When you're ranked in the top 5, your very existence is a cauldron of pressure. And that is ratcheted up when you go on the road. And this highly ranked squad has found itself coming into a snake pit in this one. Welcome to Starkville, Mississippi, home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Alabama about to kick off to get things started. The Bulldogs offense will go on the attack first. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game.
Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick.
That is the perfect start for a defense that has really struggled against the pass this season. They're in the bottom portion, okay? Have struggled, but opening drive, making a statement. Maybe this creates some momentum. Maybe this turns the tide for this defense.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Out of the gun, the inside give. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Bully ball on third and short. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Bringing the heat. It's complete. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback.
And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
To the air on first down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning Turkey Bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked. Maybe even double-team high-load, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal. You bum. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a third down stop. They'll try to get the first through the air. Man, did he pay for it with that hit as he got rid of the ball.
And I like the aggressiveness on third and short, trying to throw the football, take advantage of a look that they got. They weren't successful, and now it's fourth and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
He'll field the punt and see what he can get. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. Leaves it with the back. Maybe picked up a couple as he gets it to the 14.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Working that left side now. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Showing the arm strength down the left side. Throw to the sideline, and it's complete, and they've got a big play. High-flying pass. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. To the ground with the back. He's out past the 35. Oh, look out on the right. The 20. The 10. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Bama!
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you've got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
The give to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Now facing a 3rd and long. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Coverage team does a good job, touches it dead, no return on this one.
Nice job. Had a little hang time, getting it up in the air. It's coming inside the 10. That thing goes inside the 5-yard line. That is exactly how you throw it.
There he goes. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
That is exactly what you want from your offense. Create some space, get out of the shadow of your own end zone, Palmer, and make it easier on this offense.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a running back like that, too, that can create that space for you. Now, if you're the play caller, your entire playbook is wide open.
Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Looking to throw, it's Burden. Fires to the big fella. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the running back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
He put some heat on that one down the middle. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38.
My goodness, this offense has got it rolling. They might put up a 50-burger. This defense, they don't have any answers right now. They're going to have to figure something out.
Zings it complete to the right. He'll be run out of bounds, but we've got laundry on the field. Let's see what that's about. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. After the 5-yard step off, 1st and 15 for this offense. From the gun. Firing to the right, complete. Finds a crease at the 20. Corralled and forced out of bounds. Mark it right at the 16-yard line, and man, are they in business. They'll throw it from the red zone. Unloads it left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown, Alabama! Haul that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10.
Every time we speak to defenses before they play this guy, they all know he's going to get the ball thrown his way. They always come up with creative and exotic ways to try to cover him in the back end, but they're never able to get it done. This guy just beats coverage time and time again, and with that last catch, that's now his 15th receiving score of the season.
Going to need to step up to make sure this one doesn't get out of hand as the second quarter is about to get underway. If you can do that, I don't know why you don't do it every time. Reduce the risk. Banged it out of the back of the end zone. They'll put it in play at the 25. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. They really needed to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. Looking to throw on 1st down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. And the Bulldogs now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. They're working that left side. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
I'll tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it all in that last play.
The safe call on the wide receiver screen. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. On the move, looking for a little sliver of hope.
Returners only get so many chances in a game. You really want to maximize. You want to take it to the house. You want to make those big plays. But a lot of time you forget about that small detail of securing the football. He gave it up, but thank goodness he didn't turn it over.
That kind of play will get a drive started or help your field position. They've got it at the 27. 1st down for this offense. Here's the pressure. They've got the screen set up. Still on his feet at the 40. Still on his feet at the 45. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets it to midfield. Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4. The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. He's going for the big play. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there.
And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36. The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. He'll make the fair... At the 13, and they will have less than favorable field position here. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking in this ball game.
Yeah, nothing went well in the first quarter. You just say refresh. Like, let's try to find a way now to chip into this lead, try to make it somewhat manageable when you get to that half.
This freshman quarterback is slinging it out there to pick up that first down. Looking to throw on first down. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21. And it is hardly a big surprise that this Alabama defense is hitting hard and making their presence felt in the backfield.
It's what they built their brand on. They built it on physicality and
the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
And that's what I like most about this defense. When you try to take shots and make big plays, they get to the quarterback. They get him on the ground. Their 3rd sack of the day. And this is a unit that ranks in the top 10 in sacks in the country.
Hauls it in. Breaks into the open. He won't get there. It'll bring up 4th down. Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit.
In punt formation to kick it away.
Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Really nice job all the way around. Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the tailback. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. To throw, it's Burton. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on. Nice job by the defense. Getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The offense in its own end still needing a couple of yards for the first down, but they'll stay out there and go for it on 4th. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes a grab past the marker. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the 4th down conversion, moving the chains easily. Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. Use the play fake, now to throw. He makes the grab. No chance to run, but still a solid pickup on that one. Trying to get a rhythm in the passing game, now on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Caught near the sticks, it's Perkins. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Tide!
I think there were a lot of doubters that wondered how this team was going to be able to handle this environment and whether or not they could find success early in this game. All of those doubters wrong. They have been dominant in every phase, on offense, on defense, and on special teams, and they are piling it on here early in this game on the road.
They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive trying to go up top. It's complete on the right side. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. Back to pass. He's got it. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down. The Bulldogs come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the wideout. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. They're dealing with a second and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. On target. Timeout called by the defense is their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. Gets it to the 37. Clock stops to move the chains. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. 7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's the give off the left side. They stop him short, and we'll have a big 4th down coming. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. And the defense able to get him down, and that should bring us to the end of the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivals. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis. And through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. And the Bulldogs will line up to kick off and start the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Here comes that Alabama offense. Not sure they had to make many adjustments at halftime as they try to build on this lead here in the 3rd. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Gets it past the marker. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They think there's room to run to the right here. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Fires deep toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. So now it's 2nd and long. From the gun, running back on the move. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. Making side adjustments here. Back to pass, it's Burden. Quick strike complete. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
They'll give it to the back. Turning it on. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7. Just moments ago, Alabama was feeling the shadow of its own goalpost, and now the Tide generating momentum. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Now on 2nd and goal. Wants to go up top. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Quick strike through the air for the score. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
Well, will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? They'll run play action. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They're starting this drive with a massive lead, and they just want to finish strong. He's got it down the middle. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Looking to pass. It's Burden. He's got it. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Perkins. Gets it to the 46-yard line. 1st down for this offense. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll go to the ground. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Great play by the defense there. And listen, they got to do more of this. Running backs obviously had a lot of success. They got to continue to stop this run game, be physical, and not let this guy beat him.
Got him downfield. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26.
A lot of smiles right now on this offense. They've got a big lead, and they're just having fun out there. They're still throwing the football. These receivers are still getting open. Pass protection is still great. This quarterback's thinking to himself, man, I'm going to be padding my stats here in the second half of this game because everything we're dialing up is working.
Hold it.
A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. First thing you want to do if you're in a hole is stop digging. It's 1st and 20. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Now on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Pocket breaking down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. It's good. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on 4th down so much easier. Just strut him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
This should be the last play of the quarter. From the shotgun, the inside give. And they get him on the ground, and that'll probably do it for the 3rd quarter. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Back to pass. And he can't make the connection on his first attempt.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right now.
And it's a fumble after that huge gain. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
And this offense, man, they just can't get out of their own way. Like, they've got a 0 on the scoreboard already. Now turning the football over late in the game when you're down, they've got to find a way to make something good happen on that side of the football.
Oh, he's got some space. And how much running room have they been able to find on the ground? Man, are they piling up some gaudy rushing stats. They've got him wobbling after that big play now to pay it off on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Right back to the well. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bama! That lead a little more comfortable now as they close in on extending this winning streak.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the 4th quarter.
The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
To the air on 1st down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Rousseau. Trying to hit him with a quick game on 1st down and nothing doing there. The Bulldogs trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Under fire. And the defense, they've got him at the 27. The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And it's incomplete. Good play downfield by the DB. Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. And the ball comes to rest right there.
That's a great job downing the football, setting your defense up, great field position. A lot of times you let that thing bounce one too many times and it climbs in the end zone, but that was a good job of making sure you downed it and set your D up.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top.
There he goes. Coming out, attacking from deep in their own end, and they're out at the 26 with the first down.
This guy's been special today. Coming into this one, they thought they had an opportunity really to get him going, running the football, and he has delivered. You've seen the speed, the vision, his ability to break tackles. Well over 100 rushing yards in this game.
Into the secondary on the right. Touchdown, Alabama! He got a step and just dusted the field. That score might be the one to put them over the top and run this winning streak to 9.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. And the Bulldogs come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. That's reeled in. It's Grady. He'll be knocked out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. Good pickup there. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. Looking to throw on first down. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The Bulldogs with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Handoff to the lone back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Looking to throw on first down. Quickly complete. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game. Now on 1st and goal, let's see what Mississippi State does. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. This offense hasn't been able to find the end zone with a GPS and a slide rule. Can they finally get a touchdown on 3rd? And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
On the run from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. They go to the ground. He has the first and still on his feet. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
And I think as a running back, if you're this guy, you're licking your chops right now. This is what you want, right? You've got a big lead in the 4th quarter, and you're smiling because you know you are going to get the rock. They're going to force-feed you the football to try and ice this game. He's paying him off right now. It's a really nice run.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. But, you know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great day.
Breaks into the open. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.